Good morning. I'm Janie Parrish with the Wadsworth Area Chamber of Commerce, and you are zooming into business this morning on the other side of the square, right into the gorgeous Thurber's Jewelers with our good friend Tom Koosed. So good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Janie. Nice to see you.
As always, yes. Hey, so I wanted to ask, I mean, not as always seeing me, I meant as always seeing you. Yeah. So what I wanted to start out with today is if you could give us a history of Thurber's Jewelers.
Oh, sure. So actually, we have been in business in Wadsworth for over 35 years. I think we're pushing actually 37 this year. So we've been around for quite a while. The business was actually founded and started by Bob Thurber, which I'm sure a lot of people know and recognize the name. And it started off actually a couple different transitions. It was a little bit smaller at the time when they first moved in to the Wadsworth area. And then over the years, we sort of expanded to our current location right now. And Bob retired about 4.5 years ago. And I was an employee for him. I was actually his manager for about 5 years. And then I took over about 4.5 years ago. And so, yeah, we've just been moving. We've been going along with the times, changing up as best we can. Everything changes, and we just try to flow with that.
And during the last couple of years, what trends have you seen in jewelry?
You know, it's interesting because especially over the last year and a half, it's been a crazy times with the pandemic and things like that. But one of the things that we've noticed prior to that, the pandemic, and then through it, and then coming out the other side, is this custom jewelry. Everybody, our business has really been flourishing when it comes to custom. What we're seeing is people just want unique stuff. They want stuff that they're not going to see everywhere else.
Right.
And so in those trends, I think, we're finding that people are just trying to individualize their jewelry so it can be how they want it. Colored gemstones tend to be really taking off. We're seeing a lot of that. We're seeing a lot of opals. People are really interested in opals right now. And I would say probably one of the biggest things that we're noticing is this whole issue with lab-grown diamonds. It's been a very interesting situation in our industry for about the last 3 to 4 years is when it really started to pick up steam. There's a lot of different dynamics that go into why somebody would want a lab-grown diamond compared to a mine diamond. Obviously the most important is pricing. Pricing of it can be significantly lower than buying a mine diamond. And what a lot of people don't recognize with lab-grown, and I'll be honest with you, 4 or 5 years ago, if you walked into our store and asked about buying one, I would discourage you from even buying one because at the time the market was so new and we really didn't know where it was going to go. But within the last year, even GIA, which is the Gemological Institute of America, which sort of sets the standards for our industry, made a huge announcement that they now recognize lab-grown diamonds as a diamond. We call it the origin, where the diamond originated from. A mine diamond comes out of the ground, and a lab-grown diamond is created in a manufacturing process. But both of them are diamonds. Both of them have the characteristics of diamonds. So, we spend a lot of time with our customers when they come in, educating them on the differences, the advantages, the disadvantages. And that's what we try to do, is just give people information and allow them to make that decision on what's going to be best for them in their circumstances.
Now, that's amazing. I love that that you changed your mind, like you just kept learning about them, that now that's a part of Thurber's Jewelers.
Yeah, well, it's funny. I remember the first young man that came in, and he actually had spent a lot of time doing the research on them, and he said that that's exactly what he was going to buy. And at the time, I'm like, I didn't know how I felt about him, so I tried to discourage him. And then I ended up telling him, well, I don't think I will sell you one. And he said, hey, Tom, I understand. I appreciate that. He said, I'll just go get it from somewhere else. And so he left, and I went back and was sitting in my office, and I thought, wait a minute, dummy. This young man is going to go and he's going to buy it somewhere else. And, so if he's going to buy it, why don't I have the opportunity to work with him and then maybe help him and make sure he's not overpaying for it or something like that. So I called him up, and he came back in, and we went through the process. And it was interesting because with working with him allowed me to see a different perspective that I didn't really get previously. His main premise was he didn't want to get anything out of the ground. He wanted something that was going to be more sustainable, or things like that. And you can go different ways with that. But the reality of it is it made me begin to realize that every customer has their own opinions, their own mindset and desires, and what they're trying to accomplish, even when buying a piece of jewelry. So, I started doing more research on it and education, and I do see some advantages to it, just like I see some advantages to buying mine diamonds. But so you just have to give people options. And right now we are, believe it or not, I think that we probably have the largest inventory of lab grown diamonds in the state of Ohio, if not one of the top in the country. So.
Wow. Yeah. So other than the lab diamonds, what's so unique about Thurber's Jewelers? Because I could tell you a few things that I think are unique, but from your perspective, what do you think is unique?
Honestly, I think our biggest thing that sets us apart is just really how we really strive to go out of our way to take care of our customers. And I hate trying to toot our horn, because that's just not who I am. But we it's amazing how many people will come in and like, for instance, we'll quote jobs or whatever. Sometimes it's just repair jobs. And in the process of doing that week, we may have brought in 20, 30 repair jobs. So when we're buying the parts and pieces that we need, I can make bigger orders, and I can actually get better discounts. So when the customer comes back in to pick up the repair, and I'm like, oh, by the way, your repair was $40 less. And they're like, they look at you funny, like, well, geez, that's why would you even do that? And we're like, well, that's just what we do. If we can do it, we're going to do it. Taking care of our customer, it's that. Also, the other part of it is, everybody that works here, they're paid salaries or hourly, and I give them bonuses, based on how we do as a store. So there's no pressure on our customers. We don't, if somebody walks in, if even if they're planning on buying something, they think they're going to buy something else. I actually love those customers that they come in and like, well, we're just looking around because we want to make sure that we're getting a good deal where we're thinking about going. And I laughed at myself. I'm like, sure. And so we'll start talking to them, and they start seeing again some of the advantages, like our warranty. We don't charge for our warranty. A lot of the big box stores will. It's just the little things. It's maybe sometimes not these big, huge things that we do differently, but it's definitely a combination of a lot of little things. And I know my biggest saying here is we never leave a customer hanging. I always kid customers when they come in and they ask about our warranty, and they say, well, what does it cover? And I'm like, pretty much, it covers everything. I said, unless it looks like you dropped it in a garbage disposal or ran over it with your car. I go, but I go, even then, we're not going to leave you hanging. And it's funny because we have had a customer within the last year that had accidentally dropped her wedding set in her disposal and the garbage disposal. She was washing dishes. She finished. She was emptying the sink. She turned on the garbage disposal, went to grab her ring off the windowsill, and it fell in there. And I mean, it was ruined. And she was heartbroken. And we said, don't worry about it. Let's figure it out. And I worked with our casting companies to. We recreated the ring. Honestly, we probably even made it even better, and we did it in a way that it was very, very easy for them. So, anyways,
very nice. Now, Tom, why do you love what you do?
I mean, I love being in an industry where most of the time, I would say 99% of the time when people come in, they're getting ready to experience some type of occasion. Most of the time it's weddings. It's neat to see young children. I've been married, 37 years, and it's sort of been, sometimes it actually helps me to recognize what I have, in my own marriage. But you see these young people starting out, and and the challenges that they're going to face, and and you get sometimes a chance to even talk to them about it. We sell jewelry, but we also get to know the people, and we get to become sort of friends with them. And I think that's one of the things I like. It's a great atmosphere. Again, most of the time people are in a very positive moods. If they sometimes come in and they're not in a good mood, it's because something bad happened. And then it's our opportunity to try to turn that around. And it's nice when they come in and they're heartbroken or upset about something, and we're able to do something for them, and they end up walking out happy. And so it's
very nice.
It's just a good business.
Now, Tom, how can people find you?
We can be found in a variety of different ways. We have, obviously, we have our Facebook page. We have a website. We do a lot on social media. We do a lot of internet, a lot of internet marketing and things like that. But we're located in downtown Wadsworth. Again, we've been here for a long time. And if you reach out even through Facebook or our website, or you need just to contact us, we get back to you immediately. So you can call us. Our number is 330-335-6055, or you can just search Thurber's Jewelers on Google, and we bounce right up. So,
well, one last question before we go, Tom. What were to happen if somebody was buying an engagement ring and the other person said, no, thank you?
From us?
Yes. So what do you do?
That's actually a great question, because if we, especially if it's a wedding set that we have, because there's a couple different ways that you can, that you buy wedding sets. If it's a set that we can get from our suppliers that's already made up, or we have it in our case, if something like that happens, we work with them to come back. We'll tell them, look, as long as we haven't modified it in a way. Now, if a customer is having a custom ring made, that's one of the things we believe it or not, in a delicate way, we try to talk to them and say, do you know for sure if, I know this sounds weird, but we do it, and you get a sense after doing this for so long, you get a sense. One of the things I will do is if a young man doesn't really know if she's going to accept the proposal, a lot of times what I will do is I will recommend they just put it into a simple solitaire setting. Don't go out and make a $4,000 custom mounting. Put it in a $400 solitaire setting, and if something happens and it doesn't work out, then it's a lot easier for them to bring that back to me. I mean, obviously I can keep the diamond, I can, have that, and the mounting, you're just not going to take a hit on a $400 mounting. I mean, I wouldn't let that happen. So there's ways to work around that. It's just, you get a feel for it. I have done it. I have done it many times where, somebody says, well, I really don't know if she's going to accept, my offer for marriage. And then I'll tell them that. I'll say, well, then let's try to work with something else. And then if she accepts, then you can bring it back, and then we can take the solitaire and make something that she really wants to have. So, but that doesn't happen that often. Usually what happens, I mean, I guess that's the downside of it, is usually it's usually like a couple years later. And even then, we go out of our way to help, those people, especially, when it's bought here, and just to try to help through that situation. So again, it goes back to, we don't leave our customers hanging.
There you go. Well, Tom, thank you so much for all you do for the Wadsworth community as well. And for those people that get something from Thurber's, which I happen to be one of them, you have brought a lot of joy to a lot of people. So
well, thank you. If I may too, we're running this thing right now this month, for the month of June. I really like working with nonprofits. One of them we're working with right now is called Wounded Warriors Project.
Mhm.
And what we're doing for the month of June, you can go right to our Facebook page or that site. There's a link. You go directly to them. For every dollar that's donated to that fundraiser, and all the money goes right to Wounded Warriors Project. We're going to donate. We're going to match dollar for dollar up to $1,000 for the month of June. So
Very
it's
nice.
a great opportunity to make your dollar go even further. So if you're interested, I would encourage you to go to our Facebook page. Scroll down, you'll see it. We've been trying to post it off and on. Like we'll probably repost it today, and help out our wounded vets.
Okay, because you are a veteran.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
thank you very much.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
well, Tom, thank you for all you do. And it's a treat always to go into the sparkling, dazzling Thurber's Jewelers store.
Well, it's always a treat to talk to you, Jamie.
Oh,
Love
thank
you.
you. Okay, talk to you soon. Okay,
Bye-bye.
thank you, Tom.